Hi. I am really excited to come to you guys tonight. And after watching a really good episode, the season just really keeps getting better and better. I mean, it had a rocky start, but I honestly think it's becoming one of the most exciting seasons of Survivor. And I'm not one to keep saying every time, the most this, the most that, but it really has been a wonderful season with lots of ups and downs and a great ride. So this is where I pause and say, if you haven't seen the episode yet and don't want to get any spoilers, then don't keep watching my video. If you have, then by all means, keep watching. So the way I see it right now is it's a Tony versus Spencer game. Those are the two that I really want to see win. I think Tony's going to win the fan favorite no matter what, but I would like to, I want either, depending on how things work, either Spencer to win or Tony to win. And I don't really have a preference as to which one does. It really depends on how they make it to the final three. They're not both going to make it to the final three together. That would be extremely unlikely. But anyway, so let's rewind to post-tribal, where Tony managed to blindside LJ with only Wu and obviously the three that were happy to align with him for this particular vote on Tony's side. Clear to piss people off, particularly Trish, who hadn't seemed to buy into his argument the week before or 3 days before in Survivor days. And somehow he comes back and he says, yeah, it was me and Wu. We flipped. He manages to talk his way through it and somehow make it sound like he made the right decision and he didn't want to, that he had a reason for all this. And Trish buys it. This really disappoints me because I was... I keep going back and forth with Trish, but I think, at the end of the day, she's just not making big enough moves and seeing clearly enough to really make it, I think, and to be warranted a good player. Jeffrey's still obviously on the fence, and it's the perfect opportunity for Spencer, Tasha, and Jeremiah to take someone over, try to shift things around. It'd still be a 4-4 vote. But this is where chance comes into play. And at our reward challenge, somehow, and this seems to keep happening over and over, even when the tribes mixed up and in other reward challenges, it's basically Tasha, Spencer, and Jeremiah and Jeffra in a team together for the reward challenge. So whether they go together on the reward or they stay together at camp, it's the perfect opportunity for those tight three to try and get Jeffra to flip. So it seems like this season really has all the necessary ingredients, like great players, situations that force them to make big moves, and chance that sides with them. We did have a little scene with the spy shack, and I won't go there too long. Nothing really came of that, but that's just seeing Tony again playing 100% all of the time. At the reward challenge, where Tasha, Spencer, Jeremiah, and Jeffra win, they kind of lure Jeffra onto their side, and it wasn't guaranteed. I think Jeffra does play with her heart, and we did see that later when she was very straightforward about how she was voting. But it was a good move. They really played hard. I thought, oh, great, things are moving around, something could happen. And then what do we see in the next scene? Tony just looking for the idol nonstop, one step ahead of the game. I mean, it's just unbelievable, and I really admire how hard he's playing. And then we're at the immunity challenge, and again, Spencer and Tasha are such warriors. This was a perfect challenge for Wu to win too, and somehow Spencer and Tasha pulled through, and Tasha won, which was great news because it does protect 2 out of the 3 in their alliance. And if they play their cards right with Spencer's idol, they really could potentially mix things up. So yay for Tasha. I'm loving her more and more. I mean, I'd be happy if she won too, but somehow I don't know how Tasha and Spencer could both make it in the final 3. I think if one at this point makes a run for it potentially, I don't know. I think I'd like Spencer a little bit more than Tasha, but I love Tasha's will to play even from the beginning when she was in that brains tribe situation, brain fart, and she was all gung ho even then. So Yay for Tasha. But yeah, after immunity, Tony doesn't win. So what does he do when everyone else is like playing around in the water? He goes look for the idol. And it's just like, I mean, I don't even know how they know where to look. Clearly Tony's a fan. He like has a strategy built out based on previous seasons, and he looks for landmarks and everything. And I mean, he was the only one looking as far as we could tell. He was the only one looking. So I'm glad he found the idol. And like, I'm glad that he's playing that hard. It's really unbelievable. Then he manages to, after finding the idol, hiding it, goes back to his alliance who's still in the water chit-chatting, and manages to then assuage Jeffra along with everyone else. Jeffra's back on the boat. She's gonna vote with them. Admits to Jeremiah, yeah, sorry, I'm gonna vote with my tribe. And boom, like that's all. I mean, it's amazing. Go Tony, really unbelievable. So now here we are at Tribal. It's not over yet. Thankfully, Spencer doesn't pull to vote for Tony, who now has the special idol, which we found out and already knew, I suppose, that would protect the person who finds it even after the votes have been read. More on that later. I really do want to talk about the special idol. But Tony, like, might be in danger when Spencer brings up the fact that, like, Tony's broken a lot of promises, has sworn on his family and kids, a million times and broken them. And you can kind of see, like, this recognition in Jeffra and Trish's eyes, the fact that he does that. They're really stupid to think that Tony would actually be honest when he says that he's going to stop his games. And Spencer brings up a really good point. This was a really great tribal in that sense. And, you know, it was so close. It was really, it was a gamble. They would have had to write that that the other tribe was going to vote for Jeremiah, and then Spencer would have given the idol to Jeremiah. But there was really, I mean, we knew as viewers, but there's very, you know, would have been very hard to read that situation. So it sucks that didn't work out for Spencer's move, but at least Spencer's making moves. He's playing as hard as Tony is. Well, maybe not quite as hard, but almost as hard. He's had a roller coaster of a game, ups and downs and ups and downs. And if he makes it to the end, I mean, that will be like an unbelievable win. And for Tony too, I mean, no one as far as I can remember, has played that hard nonstop the whole season. I mean, maybe Russell, but even so, like, I don't even think Russell played that hard. Not, you know, it's just, or not at least in that way where somehow Tony manages to still stay likable. It's really just very exciting to watch. But yeah, let's talk about the special idol. It protects the person who found it, so Tony can't actually even give it to anyone else. It protects him even after the votes have been read, which means to get Tony out at this point until, like, the idols stop being valid or being active, you would have to vote out Tony twice. So vote him out, the idol protects him if he's voted out, and then vote him out again. So it's extremely hard to get rid of Tony at this point. That idol, in my opinion, has too much power. I'm not on board with that. I don't think it's good. It's way too difficult already to get rid of Tony because he's such a great player. And now I think it's going to be near impossible, which makes it a really big battle for Spencer. He's not giving up. He knows now how to play Tony. Hopefully he succeeds. Who knows? Because Tony is the smartest person in the game right now, I think. And it would be exciting to see Spencer play him, but I don't know. Tony's really, really my favorite player this season. And I think we'll see him again, which makes me happy. What did you guys think? How do you guys feel about the special idol? I'm curious to see what you think of that. And yeah, this season is one for the books. I'll see you guys next week.